Welcome back to the B Main, everybody. I am outside. I'm in a different location.
I'm in a different location.
I'm in Destin, Florida. Where are you at?
I'm in Sikeston, Missouri. So we're back far away from each other once again.
Who's really winning this deal?
Probably you right now. Probably you. But hey, I was. The funny thing was, we were just in the same place, but we didn't overlap by like 2 days.
It happens.
So it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna get a live episode at some point. It's gonna happen. I was actually thinking about that on the way here. I'm really gonna have to figure out the logistics for that, like how we're gonna do that. But it's gonna happen. So
we'll make it work. We'll get a good live episode in.
Well, let's get you the headlines, viewers.
Speaking of the headlines, the last 2 weeks have seen some really big races across all series. We'll start out. Bubba Wallace locked himself into the NASCAR playoff with a win at the Brickyard 400. Casey Kane stepping back from his driver role in a sprint car to both downsize and manage his race team. Rico Abreu won the 360 Knoxville Nationals, passing Kyle Larson on a late race restart. Brian Shirley and Ryan Gustin both picked up big paydays with the World of Outlaws Super Late Model Tour. Connor Zilisch continues his historic rookie season, as well as William Byron holding off Chase Briscoe, Brad Keselowski, and Ryan Blaney at Iowa.
Yeah, that is a lot. I didn't even know about the Casey Kane news, so we're definitely going to get into that.
Yeah, Casey Kane. Yeah, I mean, that was earlier this week. I think it was this last weekend that news came out as he's stepping away from his driver role. He did not use the word retire, so I assume he's going to be back on the car maybe next season, but they're moving some pieces around on the team. Not every detail has been shared, but I think they're just trying to focus on Brad Sweet's championship right now.
Gotcha. Well, let's roll into what we normally do. Let's go to asphalt. I mean, let's start with the biggest asphalt race that we had. Really, one of the only big asphalt races. The CARS Tour Hickory Throwback Classic.
I mean, this is
filled,
the biggest
filled with torrential downpour.
I mean, they race it on Monday or Sunday. I don't even remember at this point. Sunday night at Hickory after a 26-hour rain delay. They almost got to halfway in the pro race. Almost.
I'm glad they didn't.
I am too, because it ended up being a great race.
I know. Well, and so I guess it started out pretty much uneventful on Saturday. Caden Honeycutt, I think he started in second. It was Spencer Davis on the pole, but he got to the lead. And then from there, Caden Honeycutt led pretty much the entire thing. I think Spencer Davis caught up to him a little bit because of lap traffic, but I don't think he was able to pass him. The big news for the pros, when we came back, Caden Honeycutt was sent to the rear for unapproved adjustments.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
I think they just sent him to the rear because he was my pick to win. I really think that was it because, a prediction of mine is not allowed to come true here on the B Main.
It's very, yeah.
And since he was absolutely dominating, they just said, you know what, Gavin can't be right. Let's send Honeycutt to the back.
Yep. Well, and I wonder what the team moved. I wonder what they did that the CARS Tour officials deemed, hey, you can't do that. We're going to have to send you the back because that changed the race. And I think Honeycutt got up. I think he was right outside of the top 5 after having to start in basically 26th and have just over 50 laps. So I think he definitely was the fastest car. And without the rain delay, Gavin, I think he dominates.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at after the rain delay, it was only, a 60-lap race?
Yeah.
And he drove all the way back up to 7th, I believe.
Yeah, it was somewhere around there.
In probably the best pro late model field that we've seen since the Snowflake back in December.
Yeah, I would say the Snowflake and the pros Cordell race. I'd say those have probably been two of the best.
I mean, this race had a very similar pretty much the same field as both of those.
Yeah, I would say anyone that wasn't taken out at Cordeal was here.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing was it came down to the last lap for the pass for the lead. You saw Luke Baldwin starting to really charge up through the field. He got past Tristan McKee. I know. He got past Tristan McKee, and then Tristan McKee shoved him up into turn one. I think sometimes McKee can be a little over-aggressive, but I'm not going to criticize him much at all because when Luke Baldwin came back by, he let him go. He knew he was faster. So I can't really blame him for making the move the first time and trying to get back by him and hold him off because you can hold somebody off at Hickory if you have the car. And McKee, they obviously have a fast machine normally. But you saw Luke Baldwin get back past him. Then he went up. I can't remember who was in second at the time.
Was it Spencer Davis still?
No, Davis was leading. After Honeycutt went to the back, Davis was leading. But anyway, I can't remember.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, so I was just making sure we were talking about the same part of the race.
Yeah. So anyway, at some point, Baldwin gets him in a second. And he's like, I think he's about 2 seconds back from Spencer Davis. He runs him down from all the way back. And lap traffic helped out a bit, but Luke Baldwin up to that point was absolutely faster than Spencer Davis. With about 5 to go, they finally, Luke Baldwin is close enough to make a move. He messes up on, I think it was coming to 4 to go. He got a great run. There was a lap car. Toro Rodriguez tried to use Toro as a pick, and it did not work because his right front climbed the left rear of Spencer Davis's car. And I thought...
Yeah, I thought his race was over.
I did too. I thought the toe was going to be knocked out, suspension was going to be broken or something. Or I thought they were about to both wreck, and when they didn't, I was like, there's no way Luke Baldwin's right front is good enough to pass him now. I was like, there's no way. Somehow, he was fine. I have no idea how. And then he goes on. I think he moves him. I can't remember where he moves him. You might have a better memory. But anyway, moves Spencer Davis. It's a good move. Didn't do anything egregious. Gets by him. But then Spencer Davis, and I wanted Baldwin to win. He was my pick. I believed that he was going to be the fastest car at the end of the day. I believed he was going to have the determination, and I believe he did. But Spencer Davis was really, really smart. Instead of entering turn one on the last lap, side by side, he hung back on the outside, pulled a great crossover, got up under the 51, got to his inside in 3, and shoved him up the track in 3. And Baldwin was frustrated about it. He said, when you get raced like that, and again, I wanted Baldwin to win, but I can't be biased. Baldwin moved him first. And this 96 goes back, pulls a great crossover, moves him up the track in 3 and 4 to make sure he doesn't get a run off of turn 4 to take the checkered. I can't say that Spencer Davis did anything necessarily wrong.
No, I don't think either of them did anything wrong. And when you're throwing that much money in front of pro late model drivers, things are going to get aggressive. They're going to make moves that people are going to argue about and say, oh, you can't make that move, you can't make that move. Well, none of the people arguing are in the position to win $30,000. I mean, these guys, even if they are younger, these guys are men, they're professionals. Let them decide the race.
Well, and Spencer Davis is a bit older.
The moves. Yeah, but still, I don't think the moves that they're making are absurd given the situation.
No, given the situation, I expected worse. From a lot of the field.
I can't believe they crossed the field with that many cars still running.
I know. Well, and I was really
across the line.
I was really happy with the battle, even though my pick didn't win. Because, gosh dang it, Gavin, I was so close. I thought those last 5 laps were exhilarating. I was on the edge of my seat, and I think it's one of the best finishes that we've had most of the year in short track racing.
I mean, it was great.
So with that controversy, let's go into late model stock portion. 125 laps of the Throwback Classic. I would say for the most part, until 15 to go, there was nothing going on.
It wasn't bad racing. It was
No.
just very. Everybody was waiting for their moment.
I think everybody was waiting for their moment, except McKee. McKee was gone.
McKee's. I was tempted to pick him, but then I said, you know what? He's too young. Or not too young, but I just didn't think his experience level lined up with the rest of the field was gonna make it.
Well, and see, here's
also, how about Trayton?
Yeah.
How about Trayton Leipzig returning to the CARS Tour for the first time this year?
I was happy to see that. I hated what happened to him in the end, but he was running, I think, 8th all night. I mean, that's a driver who deserves to be in a ride like that. I don't know what their situation is. They did a lot of racing last year, and Lapsvich.
And he's made a few ARCA starts this year.
Yep,
he's got an ARCA win.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he won an ARCA. I think he won in his one of his 2 ARCA starts. I think he's raced at Phoenix, and I can't remember the other one. I think it was Elko, but he did win.
Okay, yeah. Well, the interesting thing as well, I don't know what their situation is, but I think he's definitely one of those drivers that deserves to be in a place like that because I think he's a good driver.
He's great.
He's very consistent.
I mean,
doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
No, I mean, he's going to be good.
So
I don't even mean going to be. He is good. He's already there.
Yeah. Well, I really can't think of anything else that happened of importance in the Throwback Classic until lap 12. What do you think, Gavin?
Yeah, I mean,
tee it up for us.
Tee it up. I'm looking at my notes right now,
making sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, viewers, me and Gavin have been all over the world the past few days, which is why this episode has been coming out so late.
On a Wednesday afternoon of all days. And speaking of rain delays, we might be about to take one here. I might not need to get struck by lightning.
Oh, gosh. What are we looking at? We're looking at the big incident?
Oh, the huge wreck.
Yeah.
That's what it... That was 12. You said lap 12, and I'm like, what is he talking about?
Oh, yeah,
you said
12
to go. You said lap 12, and I was like, what is he talking about? No, I mean, wow. And a big incident after the wreck, which is what I want to talk about Landen Lewis's reaction more than I want to talk about the wreck because,
well,
you know, 3 wide in turn 4 with this few laps to go, everybody's going to make the move that Landen made probably. And if you don't, I would probably be mad at you for not trying to go win the race.
Right.
But he got 3 wide. McKee was in the middle. I don't know if he got pinched, got bumped from the outside, pinched down, if it was retaliation, but McKee got into him. They all just send 5 or 6 cars up into the turn 1 wall. Lofton goes, Carson Lofton, straight in to the tire barrier. That was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, that part of the wreck was scary.
Yeah.
And then once you figure out everybody's all right, first thing I wanted to do was watch Landen Lewis, get out, and he was not happy at all.
Well, yeah.
I don't blame him.
I don't know. Here's what I looked at. I agree with you that you gotta make that move if the door is open. The only thing.
And
go ahead.
And even if the door isn't open, it's 10 laps to go on a restart. Okay? And this is the biggest payout your series has ever had. If the door isn't open and you're in the top 5, kick the door down.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I know that if it doesn't work, people are going to be mad at you. You're going to look like an idiot. But I would rather wreck going for the win than not go for the win.
I mean, hey, if you got the money to fix the car, sure, why not? Because not everyone has that opportunity.
I mean, he's on Kevin Harvick's team. They have the money to fix the car.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So, here's what I think from the incident. I watched it back a lot because I wanted to make sure I was seeing everything. And from what it looks like, you and I know, Hickory out of turn 4 is super bumpy, especially the further you go down the track. And so he was down on the apron. And so I think as he was coming back off the apron, 3 wide, A, he was carrying a lot of momentum. But B, he was bumping so much that I think he slid up into the 7. They were pretty much door to door. I mean, they were close. And through that, they got stuck together, and then their momentum is going to the outside, so they get turned to the outside. I think McKee did nothing in that scenario. Like Landen Lewis and his interview, I got right hooked. I got all this, and I'm like, and that might be because he hadn't seen it yet, and he might have been upset and thought that's what happened. I don't know if he maybe watched it later and had a different opinion, but straight out the gate, I think McKee did, like, McKee was just there.
Yeah.
So.
And that's another thing I want to talk about from this race is, there was the one big story late in the race. The battle for the lead at the end with Minnie Tyrell and Jared Fryer, as opposed to the absolute just cars going everywhere, junking each other into turn 1 of the restart. You had 2 drivers who, run their own teams, can't afford to make a mistake, race each other perfectly there at the end.
Yeah, and
that was awesome.
I think it was awesome. I think Fryer didn't quite have the car to catch up to Minnie at that point. I would have loved to have seen it a little closer because I do think they would have raced it very clean. But, I really hated – I texted you this. I hated that big incident for Lofton and McKee because I think McKee had run a flawless race. He had done everything he needed to do, started on pole, worked through lap traffic, kept the lead off restarts, everything. Lofton had been running great. He was running the top 10 all night long, has been getting really a lot better in this Nelson car. When I got to talk to him at Sobo, he was like, I'm just continuing to learn. And he said, that's what I've got to learn each week and go out and continue to improve. What did you think about the Honeycutt getting put to the rear again? He got put to the rear in both races.
Was it for the same thing, the unapproved adjustments?
Nope. He jumped the restart. And I knew it.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
So I was really surprised, Gavin, that they didn't call off that restart a lap later. Because the big incident would have never happened if they did. Because I now wonder what would have happened if we wouldn't have had that accident. Would they have waited till the next caution to put him to the rear? Or would they have just let it go if we didn't have a caution? Because they didn't call off the restart.
And they had, probably 30 or 40 minutes to review the restart at that point. I don't know how long it took them to review it.
No, well, I'm saying, I'm surprised they didn't just call it off just because they were unsure. I don't know. Maybe it's a different. I know.
Restack the field.
Yeah, and I know their race control. Danny, he is great. He always has a reason for what he's doing. I'll probably ask him this weekend because he runs our race control at Sobo. But yeah, I was just surprised because for me, the minute I saw it, I was like, Honeycutt definitely just jumped the restart. Because you go back and look at it in slow-mo, McKee was looking to jump late in the box because that's what he did. He didn't jump until late in the box, and Honeycutt was already leading him into the restart zone and gone. So, and then you saw it after that. Honeycutt, when they got rolling back green, he parked it.
I didn't even realize he parked it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was so far behind, I was just
pissed.
skipping through it to watch. When the incident happened, I fast-forwarded it. So I guess I assumed that he was in the incident without paying that much attention. That makes so much more sense.
Yep.
That he was just not a good week for Honeycutt either.
No, and we'll get into that too. But here's the thing. I would say I think you had the best pick of the two of us, because both things were very much avoidable, and without those two things happening, he would have won both. Like, if they hadn't have messed with the car over the rain delay, he'd have won the pro race. And if he hadn't have jumped the restart in that last one, if that big wreck still happens, stay side by side with McKee, he'd have won, because he was out and gone after the wreck. He was able to get through it on the high side. So I don't know. I felt great about my picks. I thought Lewis was really. I knew he was going to be aggressive. I knew they were going to have a good car. I didn't think he was going to bend it off of turn 4. And then I felt good about my Luke Baldwin pick. So I think for what you can do in terms of racing, I think we had great picks.
I do too, and I can't wait to see Luke Baldwin race more, because every time that he's in a race car, he impresses.
I like him a lot. I like what he brings to the table.
But it's just weird trying to talk about this, I guess, 4 days later now?
I know. Well,
used to we're talking about the next afternoon.
Yeah. Well, what'd you think about Minnie picking up the win? Because I thought it was so cool.
Such a good story, because, I mean, they were talking on the broadcast. He might not have been able to run the rest of the CARS Tour season. Like, his team, they were out of money.
Yeah.
And to go pick up that much of a payday, I mean, talk about a clutch win.
Yeah. And
in a race that he had to win.
Oh, absolutely. It's a feel-good story. And at the end of the day, no one can be upset about that, really and truly. Because I think Minnie is one of the favorites.
I mean, he's a guy. I don't think anybody's disappointed when he wins.
Nope.
Even if if he beats your favorite driver by one spot, I don't think you're going to be mad when Minnie Tyrell wins a CARS Tour race. Like, you're just like, you know what? I like this guy.
Yeah. Also, talk about Connor Hall. He had an abysmal night. I mean, they were nowhere.
What are the standings looking like now?
Oh, I didn't even look. Oh my gosh, hold on. I gotta get around my keyboard here. Wait. I'm messing around. Do you see my view here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Pulling it up right now. Okay, Hall's still leading. Lewis is down by 6. So I think he still made gains. But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If Lewis doesn't wreck, he'd probably be leading by like 10 points.
Yeah, and who's in third now? Like, how?
It's still
Cade
Brown,
that gap shrunk?
Ronnie Bassett Jr. They're still Cade Brown's out by 22 points. So that's possible for Cade Brown.
They're in contention, but it's really between Hall and Lewis.
Yeah. Ronnie Bassett Jr., Minnie Tyrell are 42 points out, 44. Look at this. 4th through 6th with Bassett Jr., Minnie Tyrell, and Landon Huffman, all separated by 4 points.
It's a competitive field.
Yeah. And then Doug Barnes Jr. is running 7th. I think people have been a little bit critical of Doug Barnes Jr. I think he's doing what he needs to in that car. He's putting in consistent finishes. He's top 7 in points. He's had good finishes. I think he's doing very well in the 88.
Like, that's the thing with the Pulliam cars right now, is the speed has been there all year for both cars.
Yeah.
They've both been as fast as they always were. They're just trying to replace Brendan Queen, who, in a late model stock, is irreplaceable.
Right. Well, and Lainey Bice had a pretty good race. I don't remember where she finished, but I know that she finished. Didn't get any incidents. I think I want to say she was right outside the top 10.
She got in the top 10 after the wreck.
There we go.
8th.
There we go.
And I think during the wreck, she didn't get in it. Like, she made it through, but there was a little bit of damage there at the end, and she lost a few spots because she restarted a few spots higher and lost spots there on that last short run.
Yeah. I know we're a little bit out of order, but I forgot to mention it. What about Parker Eatman and Ryan Millington not making the show?
That is And that's really surprising. I think Ryan Millington not making the show is more surprising than Parker Eatman. And Parker, like, it's both surprising, but is Ryan Millington was a championship contender the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and this year he didn't start
I
Langley.
mean, he's a good driver.
I know he didn't start Langley, and he didn't start this race. I want to say there's one more race they might have skipped too. So I think
He
they've
skipped
just been.
Cordeal, didn't he?
I don't know, but they've really been doing their own thing this year.
Or was it Wilkesboro? It might have been Wilkesboro. 'Cause
I
no,
know
he
he
was at
skipped
Wilkesboro. I
another
remember
one.
seeing him.
I don't know, but they've just been doing their own thing. So
And while we're still just talking about our off semi-on topic, bouncing around the storylines here, Katie Hettinger, first time back in the pro late model all season. She ran fine.
yes,
Good for what she did, not being in the car for a year.
yeah, for sure. She did good. What else?
It was impressive to me because her biggest weakness last year was mistakes. It wasn't speed, and she was not in any incidents. Finished right outside the top 10.
Yeah. Well, another interesting thing as well, Keelan Harvick, he was in, I think he was outside the top 15 most of the race. And I think this was a very good, I don't know if wake-up call is the right word. He's very talented, but he is still young, and there's a lot of work to be done. And so I think this is really great for him to be able to put himself in perspective of, okay, I got a lot more work to do. Where do we start? Because I think I saw a story from Kevin Harvick the other day about Keelan, and Kevin was like, "Yeah, he qualified fourth somewhere," and he was like, "Yeah, Dad, don't worry, qualifying doesn't matter." And Kevin was like, "Oh, it doesn't now." He was like, "No, it doesn't matter." So he told race control to put him to the back, and he did it for a couple races, and Keelan was like, "What? Why am I in the back?" And he was like, "You said qualifying didn't matter. Go run up to the field, go win." And
That's awesome.
yeah,
I haven't heard this story. This is awesome.
yeah, it's great. I think it was on Stacking Pennies where Kevin told it. At least that's where I saw it. But I think
That's awesome.
I don't think Keelan is cocky at all. But I think when you are young and you are as good as him, you have the background like your dad and all that social media, it's easy to get a little bit of an ego, and any person would. I'm not saying it's just Keelan.
Yeah.
But I think this race probably put him in a great seat to say, okay, a lot of work needs to be done. What can I do? So I think it's probably a good quote-unquote wake-up call for him.
And I think there was a little bit of damage, but I don't know if it was enough to, like, slow him down as much as it did.
Yeah. And Hickory's a tough place.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it shows you, I was going to say, it shows you the difference in the field from just a couple weeks ago and then now. Because he dominated the race, and then he was running outside the top 15 in this one. So, but again, a lot of the guys that came in and run those pros are guys that hit, like Caden Honeycutt, that runs in trucks. Luke Baldwin, that it runs in modifieds and has some truck starts, like all that. Kyra Jones, that runs some trucks, runs supers, all this. So a lot of very advanced drivers, not just a pro field of, hey, these pros are the biggest thing they've done. I think to do what he did, clean race, finish where he needed, like where higher than he started, I'd say it was a good night for Keelan Harvick.
Yeah.
So, but anything else from the CARS Tour? We probably
really
missed
think
something.
that's about it from the CARS Tour.
But
I know we missed something.
I think it was.
I'm trying to miss a rainstorm right now.
Well, I was gonna say I hated that we had the rain, but I'm really glad that we got the weekend. I was really worried that what if the rain didn't stop?
Too Sunday afternoon because they were like, okay, we're gonna start at 12:30 on Sunday. I was like, perfect. I'll watch it, and as soon as it's over, I'll turn on the NASCAR race.
Yep.
And they're drying the track, and I'm like, all right, well maybe they're just doing a little bit extra work getting it ready, and then 2:30 rolls around. I'm like, okay, And then Cup race starts, and I'm watching the Cup race, and I look, and it's raining at Hickory, and I'm like, are they going to get this race in at all?
Yeah. So,
I mean,
well,
it
we
was
eventually
amazing that they
did.
got, let alone had a great race.
Yeah, no, I thought they were both good.
2 great races.
Yeah. So, I thought it was a very successful end of the weekend to be able to get that all done. What else do we got? We got anything else in regular asphalt? Oh, I've got one thing. And I saw this. I don't know how we missed this. Jade Avedisian made her first super late model start in Mobile.
This weekend.
Yes.
What's funny is we almost went to that, and then we
I
decided,
know.
you know what, Timothy's not going to run. I'm not
I
going to
know.
go.
Well, and she ran
How'd she end
her
up doing?
P8 Southern Super Series.
Not bad.
And Bubba Pollard finally got
Not
his
bad at
first
all.
win since Speedfest back in February.
That's got to be the longest drought that he's had
Well, and
in a long time.
We've heard the problems for him this year. He used to run those Seneca cars, and he said that he wasn't getting the parts he needed and the time he needed. So because he used to run with Van Dorn about 6 years ago, and he didn't like that switch to Seneca. Did excellent in Seneca, performed well, but he didn't like how they were delegating parts, all this stuff. And so this year he's gone back to Van Dorn, and arguably has not done as good. So I don't know if he was still running that Van Dorn car because I haven't checked on that in a little bit, but he got a win back again. So maybe Bubba Pollard, this is exactly what he needed beginning on the road to the Snowball Derby, because that conversation is open. We are on the road to the Snowball Derby.
Which is crazy to say because it feels like this season just started.
Well, yeah. I'm also hoping that Jade Avedisian will be down at the Snowball Derby, which I think she will. I think she'll run the Snowflake if nothing else.
She will. Yeah. And I mean, with her making her super late model debut, I don't know why she wouldn't be setting up to run the Snowball Derby.
Yeah.
She's about to make her first ARCA start here in a few weeks.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought that was a little bit of cool bit of news from the Southern Super Series on the super late model side. So
a little bit of just housekeeping on the asphalt short track news. Austin Beers still leading.
Yeah.
On the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour standings.
Let's go.
It's a tight battle right now. Tight battle. Getting ready to go to Monodoc tonight on a Wednesday.
Weren't they just there?
I think so, but
they had a doubleheader weekend like 3 weeks ago.
On Instagram like Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
It might not be Monodoc. It might be somewhere else, but
I don't know.
I know that he had posted.
He runs so freaking
on Tuesday
much.
Or Wednesday night with the NASCAR Tour mods.
Yeah.
He runs 3 nights almost every week.
I know.
He runs 2 local tracks. He runs 2 local tracks and 2 series.
Golly. Well, and he makes enough money doing it to be to let that be his thing. It's you should go watch this sometime.
I want him to win this championship so bad.
Oh, me
because
too.
If he wins this championship, I think that can open a lot of doors for him.
I think so too. Well, it's interesting. What he's doing right now, I think, is very similar to Ryan Preece. And the reason I say that is because I just watched Ryan Preece's episode with Dale Jr. on the Dale Jr. Download. Top tier episode. If you have not watched it, go watch it. I love episodes like that where you get guys where you just don't know much about them and get to learn about how they got to where they got in racing. And Preece's story is cool because it's not just cookie cutter, hey, I went up in the series. Like, it is all over the board for Ryan Preece and finding money, like all this other stuff. And so, but talking about Austin Beers, like, I think he could be one that could have that opportunity. Say he gets a championship, gets a couple more wins, stuff like that. I think it could open doors for him. So, housekeeping done.
Can you repeat that last part? Your signal.
That's okay.
Signal cut out on me right there. Can you?
I was talking about.
One more time?
I think Beers getting the championship, another win, all that stuff could open doors for him, just like it did Preece.
Yeah.
I think that's our housekeeping completed.
I'm really excited. I think so too. How about dirt? Did you get to watch any of the dirt stuff
Not much.
at all? Any?
No.
Come on, man.
I know. I was
But
really
you missed
happy.
some really
I
good
was really
racing.
happy with how much I got to watch this week. And I was like, dang, I'm lacking on my dirt again.
No, it's fine. The Prairie Dirt Classic, this is one of the races that I was hyping up to you 3 weeks ago before it. When you win, you get to take your check. The push truck pushes you out of victory lane, out of the track, through the bank drive-through. In this case, at 3 a.m.
Oh
because
my
of rain.
gosh.
They did not start the race till 1. I feel sorry for the bank workers more than I feel sorry for the fans.
Jeez.
People that had to stay at the bank and keep it open, wait until 3 in the morning just so they can have a race car with a fake check that's not even a real check come through your drive-through.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
But no, the Prairie Dirt Classic up at Fairbury was awesome. Bobby Pierce dominated the Flow Racing night. That was the first night of the week. And then we get into the big race. And so awesome for Brian Shirley to win. This was his first big crown jewel this season. Brandon Shepherd finally showing some speed. Here's the one topic I mentioned to you back last week. Rocket actually has a new chassis built, and Brandon Shepherd's the only one running it right now.
Yeah, I was interested in you saying that.
They haven't been able to mass produce them. They haven't been able to mass produce them yet, and since he's their house team car, he's going to be the first one to get it. And now that, since I've heard that he's been running that for close to a month now, he's picked up speed immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been a contender every race he's ran since they've debuted this new chassis.
Yeah, and it's interesting that a change like that can pick up a driver and a team so much.
Turn around a season.
Literally. So
because they've been terrible this year.
Yeah, no, they have not been great. And
I'm
honestly,
not sugar. This is the worst.
They weren't great last year.
The Rocket Car's been since 2018 at least.
Yeah.
No, I mean this is the worst I've seen the Rocket Car since I've been watching dirt late model racing, which is a lot longer than I've been watching sprint car racing, and this is the first time I've seen the Rocket just not been in contention for wins.
Yeah.
And I think they've won 3 or 4 races this year, but it just all of a sudden they're like, all right, we have to change something. They got the new chassis built, started running it, and he's a top 6 or 7 driver in a dirt late model again after really not even being in the conversation for the last year.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, I hope they can because that's been what was great. But the track conditions, also Dirt Vision went down. So Dirt Vision goes down in the middle of the
that's rare.
In between, I think the C main and the B main, Dirt Vision goes down, and then by the time Dirt Vision's back up, they're in a multiple hour rain delay.
Oh my gosh!
And so Dirt Vision gets back up around midnight, but they don't get to start the race till 1:30. They don't get to finish it till 3.
Golly!
And when I went back and was rewatching the race, every fan was still at the track at 3 in the morning.
That's so awesome.
Packed house. And that's the coolest thing is the fans sticking around. But to be fair, there's not much else going on around that track.
Yeah.
In the middle of Illinois. They had nowhere else to be and nothing else to go do. They weren't leaving. They were hostages.
They were sticking it out for sure. That's awesome.
They were sticking it out. And then the other big dirt late model race, Cedar Lake USA Nationals, $100,000 to win this weekend. Driver intros are so cool here. This is one of the first times I've seen them do this. Instead of having the drivers walk out or the drivers stand beside their car for driver intros, they pushed them off onto the track one at a time. Turned all the lights off except for the infield lights. And so they were in their cars already. I've seen driver intros where they show the car, but the driver's already in it. They pushed them off onto the track one by one, and they would run one lap and then park behind the pace truck.
Yeah.
One lap, park behind the pace truck, one car at a time.
I thought that was
so cool.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great because I like driver intros. I have mixed feelings about driver intros actually, but I think it's tough. Like, yes, I do want to know the face of the driver. I think it's important, but I think 96% of fans are never going to see a driver's face unless they want to. You're going to see the car. And if your
Yeah.
driver's doing great, you're going to get in victory lane. Then you're going to see their face, like all that stuff. But like, I don't know. Like, I think the car has a lot more branding than the person's face in terms of recognition. Like, if I'm watching a
The
race,
car is the brand. The car is the
right?
team.
And I'm like, when I see it, when I watch a race, and I don't know who a driver is, I just figure it out from the ticker. But driver intros would give you, oh, hey, if they're doing the car, it's like, oh, that's blah blah blah, like that's Brandon Shepard, like that's whatever, all this stuff, and so you can immediately start to create that mental pathway of, okay, that car, that driver, and so because when you see the driver's face, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah, that's Brandon Shepard, but then if you don't know what Brandon Shepard drives, you're like, where's Brandon Shepard? Where is he?
Yes.
So I think there's a beauty to both. I kind of like the way the car, like doing it with the car more, just because that's what you're going to be seeing most. You're going to be seeing the car 95% of the race, and if your driver gets top three, you're going to see their face for an interview. But that's it. So the driver does the work, and they deserve recognition for sure. But in terms of being able to say, "Oh yeah, that's him that's him or her on the racetrack," you're seeing the car.
Yeah. So I mean, the racing there was a solid race. Ryan Gustin was pretty dominated towards the end of the race. Um, some big movers. Nick Hoffman went plus 17
Yeah, I
to
saw you
finish
put that in
fourth,
the notes. That's crazy.
and
And how many
that's
laps?
why I like 100 lap. 100
100
lap.
laps.
That's why
Oh,
I like 100 lap dirt
you know
races.
I love 100 lap dirt late model events.
That is why you love, and why everybody that loves dirt late models love it, because they're long. The race develops,
Yes.
and when the track gets super slick midway through a race, you have to manage your tires, but also stay on the lead lap. You have to be, up front, but not too dominant and kill your car. It's so fun to watch these guys take care of their race cars when you really, really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Actually, it was plus 21, not plus 17. He started 25th, finished fourth.
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
I mean, to me, that is more impressive than winning.
That's crazy.
I mean, I know he doesn't get the big $100,000 payday that Ryan Gustin won, but plus 21 spots.
There
It's
you go, Nick
insane.
Hoffman.
Yeah. And then right before the Knoxville Nationals this coming weekend, the World Outlaws had their last show before Knoxville at Peevely, the Ironman 55, talking about liking a long sprint car race. This is one of the most laps of any sprint car midget race you're going to get to see. So,
Yeah.
great weekend.
Well, and I wanted to go to the Ironman 55 because my girlfriend's dad, he loves sprint car racing, and I think 45 minutes from Peevely, from I-55, and I needed it to be,
Yeah.
if it would have been if that show would have been last night, I could have gone. So if it had been like 2 days later, I could have been there, and so but I sadly
Yeah,
could not
Peevely's
go.
awesome. It is.
Dude, I want to go. I really do.
Yeah, the points battle in the World Outlaws Championships heating up. We talked about how much David Gravel has just been dominating this year.
Yeah, not anymore.
Buddy Kofoid has been so good this summer. He has closed that gap in a crazy amount, and it just keeps shrinking every race, every weekend.
Kofoid
gap
is that
gets
guy.
smaller and smaller.
He's that guy.
You think he's got it? Do you think he has a shot to take the championship away from Gravel?
How
or do you think
far
Gravel
how
still
far
has enough of
back
a
is
cushion?
he?
I
How
think
far back?
it was at. I think it was at 215 points at the start of the weekend, and it was down to 180 after 2 races.
I think it's possible. I think this late in the season, it's going to be tough. but I would say the door is open. But you got to hope that Gravel keeps performing the way he is, or maybe worse. Because if Gravel maybe picks up a couple wins, if he does good at Nationals, like he gets any sort of momentum, I think you're in a rough spot. Because David Gravel, when he turns on the heater, he's on. So, and there's arguably almost no one better. So,
I mean, that's why it has this big of a lead to begin with.
Yep. So I think it's possible for Kofoid. I'd love to see it. I really would. I'd love to see a great title fight, but it's going to be tough. So he's got a long road ahead.
The other story there, and the other story there came from Kofoid's former midget teammate. Cannon McIntosh absolutely just sent Chase McDermott for no reason in turn 4.
Did he really?
Like, on the last lap, so the track was bottom dominant all night. You couldn't pass. This is Friday night, first of the 2 races. And just bottom dominant, you couldn't get any momentum going on the top. At the last lap, in the center of 3 and 4, after the race, Cannon said, well, I pulled out of line because he wouldn't go. Hooks his bumper, hooks his tail tank, spins him around. Carter Sarf gets around both of them to win. And McDermott had dominated the entire race on the bottom.
Wow, that's...
And they had a little... It was an altercation after the race. Didn't get physical, just some, arm waving and yelling.
Yeah.
And Chase McDermott had a great comment after it that I thought was hilarious. He was like, if he was so much faster than me, why didn't he just go around the outside? If I was so slow, why didn't he pass me?
Dang. That's true.
That's what he said.
Golly.
He's got a point.
Yeah, it's fair.
But I didn't know if you saw that, and that was kind of
no, that's
the
awesome.
biggest talking point from Peevely was that move.
Gosh, that's crazy.
It was hilarious.
I mean, then McDermott was right.
And the 360 Knoxville Nationals. 2 prelim nights, same format we're going to see this weekend. All the 360 sprints. Rico Abreu beat Kyle Larson on a late restart.
I mean, I think we've seen Rico had a slow start to the year, I think, as well, in high limit competition. But I think over the summer, especially after the Joker weekend and King of Royals, I think he really is on a great run here towards the end of the summer and picking back some of that Rico way.
Yeah, I mean, that was what's cool to me is every driver, even the elite ones, seem to be intimidated by Kyle Larson and are more likely to make a mistake when racing with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got...
Rico showed no fear. He said, okay, I'm going to pass you on the outside.
Yeah.
And just whipped right around him. And that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, look, it's that thing. You're going to get in your head if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to sneeze real quick. Am I going to sneeze? Wait. No, we're good. I was able to best it.
Nice.
I usually hate doing that, because, dude, you got to let a sneeze out. But in this scenario, I was like, well, maybe not right now. But anyway, little break there. Back to it. I'm good? Great. I'm vibing. But Rico,
I can tell.
It's easy to get in your own head, especially when you got a guy like Kyle Larson, one of the best, has been, is, and probably will be. And so it's very easy to be like, oh, I got Larson in front of me, or I got Larson behind me, and force yourself into a mistake. So that's great mental fortitude for Rico to go, nope, we're going. So.
And the big Knoxville Nationals coming up this weekend. Tomorrow night's the first night of them. Super excited.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any picks on who you think's going to win? Do you have a pick?
Oh, I don't know.
3 in a row.
So, okay, give me the format for Nationals. This is my first Nationals. Give me a rundown here.
Okay.
You give me a rundown while I look at the entry list.
Okay. Thursday night, Friday night, 2 split fields. Normal program.
Thursday and Friday split field.
On on Thursday or Friday determines where you start on Saturday
Okay.
in the alphabet soup.
Okay. It's a
And you
3-day
start
show?
on the E-main. Yep, 3-day show, 2 split field days, then a big day that's just E-main EDCBA.
Okay. Well, I want to hear your pick while I'm looking at the list.
Okay, so I'm going to reverse psychology myself here
Okay.
because I don't know if I actually think he's going to win, but it's impossible to pick against Kyle Larson. He's won 2 in a
Okay.
row. I know he's in a little bit of a slump right now over the summer that's kind of carried over into NASCAR. It's just something's missing in every car he gets in right now, and they can't figure it out. I kind of think he's going to figure it out, but I don't know if I'm 100% there on picking him or not.
Yeah.
Rico is on a hot streak right now, but I don't know if he can carry over winning the 360 and hopping in the 410 and winning.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. I have it down between the two of those. A rematch could happen. Have some of the guys that were running World of Outlaws. Buddy Kofoid has been absolutely amazing this summer. I mean, there's 3 or 4 drivers I can pick. And I think I'm going to go with Kyle Larson, though. I think I'm going to go with the safe pick here and pick Kyle Larson.
Okay. Going for 3 in a row?
I think Larson's going to get 3 in a row in Knoxville.
Well, my first pick would have been Aaron Reitzel, but he's still out from injury with the Kings Royal. I'm still so upset by that. I think he's my new guy, and so I'm really excited for him to be back. He's my new guy. So if you want a guy for me to root for in sprint car racing, my guy is Aaron Reitzel. Looking through this entry list, man, this is tough.
So many good cars.
There's
going to be good cars that
and
don't
there
make
are
the feature.
so many cars. Like, oh my gosh.
It's like 103 total entries.
Gosh. This is tough.
And there's probably 30 of them that have a legit shot to win.
Yeah. This is tough. Well, and look, hey, this is the first time we're going to see Emerson Axum in that 18 with KCP. Oh, I don't know.
He ran it at Peevely.
Oh, he did? Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay, first time
I'm
going to be watching. First time I'm going to be watching. I don't know if I can make a pick.
That's how I felt. Is why I went Kyle Larson because I didn't know.
Okay, in that sense, I'm gonna go Rico.
I had to go with the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rico. I'm gonna say he pulls great momentum and confidence from 360 Nationals and brings it right over to 410s.
You want to have some fun, bonehead, badass moves of the week?
Yeah, I've got mine in mind.
I'll let you go. I'll let you lead off with bonehead.
Okay, mine's Landen Lewis.
Then I'll go with my pick.
Mine's Landen Lewis. I think.
See, I was gonna pick that too, but I knew you were gonna pick it, so I had to think of something else.
Yeah, you gotta make a move to win the race, but you have to be smart at the end of the day, because now you don't win 50,000, but also you've just killed your championship points day. Like, he could have preceded Connor Hall in championship points by a decent margin for one race, but he threw all that out the window. And I think when you're in the car, you're fighting for 50 grand. That's the only thing on your mind. You're not thinking about the championship. But I think a champion has to be thinking about the championship. As much as you want to win 50K, as much as that would be great for you and all that, I think a championship is more important at the end of the day. And that is I think that was a mistake by Lewis to not make that decision a little bit more calculated, because emotions run high. 50K, that's going to be right out in your foresight. But as a race car driver, you still have to have enough mindset in the car, enough focus on saying, hey, what are my options here? What am I really fighting for? What's most important? And how can I make the best move for that? I think he saw a carrot right in front of the rabbit and said, I want the carrot. And day over.
And I've narrowed it down to 2 picks, but I think my bonehead of the week, I think I'm going to go with Austin Hill.
Oh
And
yeah,
not the left hook led to it,
right
but
hook.
after when he is setting in his right hook, yeah, setting in his car, yelling "F
Oh,
NASCAR, F race
oh,
control," and when you say that with race control listening, that was the moment that got him suspended. I think
yeah.
the incident was going to get him punished, but his rant on the radio afterward, that's what got him suspended.
Well, I think no matter if he'd had the rant or not, he should have been suspended. But yeah, that was not
Yes,
smart. It didn't help. It did not help.
that was the nail in the coffin.
Gosh.
I,
Um.
so goofy.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what are you doing?
No. My other one is going to come from the CARS Tour Classic as well. It's going to be Minnie taking the win. Like we talked about, feel
Yeah.
good story. He started mid pack, worked his way through the field,
Mm.
kind of got stuck in about fourth position, but took advantage after that wreck, got the lead, held it over Jared Fryer. Um, everyone wins when a Minnie gets a win.
Yeah. I think my badass move of the week. It's funny because the 2 badass moves of the week that were the 2 that I picked, both had the same drivers doing the same thing. So I think I'm going to give it to 2 people. I'm going to give it to Bubba Wallace and Rico Abreu because they both on a green white checker passed Kyle Larson on the outside to win a crown jewel.
That's very true. Yeah.
I mean, they did the same thing, so I can't say one's bigger than the other. So I have to give them both
That's a good
for
point.
doing the same thing in the same situation.
That's a good point. Yeah, it was cool, and Bubba did good to hang on, and get the win. Big.
I don't know which one's more impressive when you step back and watch both because the situation was so similar.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe the pressure of the 400 probably a little bigger.
Yeah, then if it was the 410 Nationals, same pressure as the Brickyard 400, but
Right.
360s, the pressure's still there. Man, it was both equally impressive moves.
Yeah. So, well, let's run into our final section.
Talked about dirt, gonna move into NASCAR, but I want to kind of bridge that gap because the USAC Silver Crowns and USAC Sprint Cars tagged along with NASCAR to Indianapolis.
Yep.
Such a cool move by the schedule and the sanctioning bodies there.
Yeah. Well, it gives
You
an
don't see-
opportunity if fans are coming in on a Thursday night, they could say, "Oh well, let's go to this dirt race."
Yeah, especially when it's there on property. I mean, we've saw USAC Silver Crowns tag along with IndyCar at Gateway. We've seen, you know, World of Outlaws will go to Talladega to the dirt track there. The High Limit will run the Texas and Vegas dirt tracks those weekends. So it's not an entirely new thing to see a dirt or short track series tag along with NASCAR. I mean, we've been seeing this all season this year. But just when they decide, hey, we're going to go run with NASCAR, I always enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think it opens up short track racing, whether dirt or asphalt, to fans that are going to be on the fence about going, or I'm not going to go watch these guys. I don't know who they are. Silver Crown race, CJ Leary won, dominated, uneventful race. Normal Silver Crown race on asphalt. Fun to watch if you are a racing hardcore fan.
Yeah.
And then sprint cars, Justin Grant, Logan Seavey, absolute battle at the Indy short track.
Oh yeah.
Packed house too. I mean, I know there's not that many seats. It's a fifth of a mile track. It's inside of turn 3. But they had a huge crowd given the circumstances.
Yeah.
Full house. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's get into the NASCAR stuff from Indy. Go back over to IRP. ARCA might have had the best race of the week.
I'd say it was definitely a great one. The battle between Brent Cruz and Brendan Queen.
And Brendan,
I
all
love
night
it.
long.
I love it. I really do.
There's no qualifying. There was practice, no qualifying due to rain, So they started the ARCA field based on owner points. And when you have a series like ARCA, who it was an ARCA and ARCA East combined race. So you have the full-time ARCA cars, the good ones, start at the very front. Brendan Queen, Brent Cruz, they're going to start up front. They're going to drive away. You have kind of in the middle of the pack, there's this mix between full-time competitors in the ARCA East and your full-time non-competitors in ARCA. Field gets a little jumbled up. And then in the back of the pack, you have good cars that only race 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
The craziness that was the first 30 or 40 laps was awesome.
Yeah. I loved it.
I remember there was a point where the battle for 7th was 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 cars battling for one spot.
Oh, my gosh.
You had Lanny Bice, Isaac and Jason Kitzmiller both, Connor Mozak, and then one more car all battling for the same spot.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
Super impressive to watch. Lanny and Mozak got into each other a little bit, trying to avoid a wreck. Austin Vaughn spun. Koga used his ARCA brakes. I don't know if you saw that, but I mean,
I did. I did. Yeah.
I mean, it was.
I would say
100% ARCA moment.
Yeah. So I would say at the end, I loved the battle between Cruz and Queen, and it kept going at Iowa.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say,
and that they ended up 1-1 against each other.
Yep. So
which was cool.
I've liked this battle.
How about this? Iowa was the first short track Brent Cruz has won on this year.
Really?
Or not Brent Cruz, Butterbean.
Yes.
All of Butterbean's wins have been on 1.5-mile tracks.
Which goes to show you
1.5-mile track.
His talent. I mean,
the dude is awesome.
I'm telling you, he deserves to be in a truck next year. And
I think he will be.
Brent Cruz is probably going to be in a truck. Just started his own team. Did you see that?
Once he's 18 years old, he'll be full-time in trucks, no doubt.
Yeah.
I did see that. That is funny.
I know.
My favorite part of that was I might actually change my boneheads of the week to Jesse Love and Connor Zillage for making jokes about being in a corporate role on that team or a managerial role, and then had to both made the same. Pretty sure they both copied and pasted a statement from ChatGPT about how they're not in a managerial role on any team that is not affiliated with Chevrolet.
Oh, my goodness.
And they're just friends with Brent Cruz. And I'm like, guys, look, if you're friends with Brent Cruz and you want to be part of the team, yeah. But when you're racing for Chevy, you can't be like, hey, we're managing this Toyota truck.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, come on, guys.
I didn't even see that. Oh, Lord. That's crazy. Well,
so there was a quick announcement right after Cruz announced that team that people were saying, and his friends, Jesse Love and Connor Zillage, are going to be in managerial roles on the team. And then they both said, we're going to be on the pit box, but we are in no way fully affiliated with teams that are not part of that are not part of Chevrolet, because Brent Cruz is a Toyota guy, and this is going to be a Toyota truck. So that's what I thought was really funny.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it with ARCA. Let's go ahead and get to Iowa with ARCA. The pole set by Brent Cruz was a 10th faster than the Cup qualifying pole set by Chase Briscoe. What does that say, Gavin?
You can look at it two ways. You can say, well, the Cup car is slower. The Cup car doesn't need to be slower. You can look at it and say, well, the Cup car is harder to drive. It doesn't need to be easier to drive. You can look at it both of those ways. I think, judging by the way that most Cup races play out, the Cup car is probably easier to drive, but a lot harder to race. I don't like that it's slower than the ARCA car.
I don't either.
Especially when it has a bigger tire and more downforce, more downforce but less drag, so you're supposed to be able to be more planted in the corners. So I don't like what that says, that the Cup car is the 10th slower than the ARCA car.
Yeah. I'd have to agree.
I don't love it. I don't hate it either. I don't hate it. I think it's kind of one of those deals where you're like, well, we know that the Cup's the pinnacle of NASCAR. These are the best drivers. It'll be okay. Okay, sure. But I'm not convinced the ARCA race wasn't still better than the Cup race. That the Cup race wasn't the weakest link of the weekend yet again.
Yeah, I've been thinking I've been loving the Xfinity races more than the Cup races.
I feel like Xfinity and trucks have had the best races consistently.
Yeah.
And then ARCA is, depending on how many cars show up, has a good
Yeah.
race or not.
Yeah, which Iowa I thought was great.
Yeah, if ARCA has more than 10 competitive cars show up, it's great.
Yeah.
If they have 5 or 6 competitive cars show up, it's not a great race.
Well, and talking about ARCA, we saw the deal that came out for Venturini. Chris Wright was going to run some races with them. And look, I'm not going to be hard on drivers in a normal sense. They are people. But when you go from Xfinity and you're probably one of the not greatest drivers in the field, a lot of incidents, the team that you get kicked out of goes out of business right after you leave. And then you go over Venturini and you clear yourself on the front straightaway and wreck in the wall. I I just got to put my hands up and hands in face. That's what happened in that moment.
And
I just can't defend him. I can't defend him.
I don't think there's anything left to defend. And there's drivers that I've been critical of that have been able to rebound or prove that they're capable of something. I mean, obviously, we've talked a lot about Connor Jones, especially back in the spring, and then he's put together some solid runs. Connor Jones has won races.
Dude, finished. Oh, that's something we forgot to mention. Dude, he went from last to third in the Throwback Classic.
Yeah, I mean, he is really starting to develop into a legit driver.
Yep. So, but I can't say the same for Chris Wright.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to say this, trying to talk about him in the most respectful way possible.
Me too.
And what I can remember is when Drew Dollar was racing at Venturini a handful of years ago. And his teammate, I forgot which teammate it was, took out his teammate. And his crew chief got off the pit box, said, Drew's a really good kid, but he needs to have a career where he doesn't drive a race car. And, I mean, we're getting to the point of Chris Wright where we might have to start talking a career other than racing.
Yeah.
And to say, oh, well, it might not be his fault. Well, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Not the talent level. You can't control how much talent you have, but you can control what you do with said talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And repetitively making similar mistakes. And one of the trends of a lot of his incidents have been not listening to or not trusting his spotter.
Yeah.
And that is a mistake that any race car driver at any level, from legends and bandos up to Cup, you can't make that mistake and be successful at any level.
No.
If you don't have a lot of raw talent, but you listen to your spotter and you listen to your crew chief and you make good decisions, you're going to have good finishes.
Yeah.
And if you have a lot of talent and you ignore your crew chief, don't listen to your spotter, you're not going to have a lot of good finishes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a doozy. It is a doozy.
I mean, I'll give him the most I can say, benefit of the doubt wise. Give him the rest of this ARCA season. Let him run his deals that he has lined up with Venturini. I don't think anybody shows up at ARCA expecting not to get wrecked. Like, you show up at ARCA race and you're like, all right, we're going to have to dodge some wrecks. There's going to be some traffic cones. And I think everybody, even at that level, understands what you're getting into, getting onto the racetrack with that given group of drivers. I think he can do okay. as long as he's not the worst car on his team on the track, I think he deserves to be there in ARCA. I feel like that's a fair assessment of any ARCA driver. Is if you are better than at least one of your teammates, you should get a shot to be there next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all you can say is what he needs to do is just finish ahead of one of your teammates.
Yeah. Yep. So
But
he's got to do that next
no,
time because he didn't do it at Iowa.
yeah, no, the middle of that race was pretty good. Brendan Queen won it in a lot more convincing fashion than Brent Cruz won at IRP.
Yep. Well,
how about the Xfinity? How about the Xfinity race with Sam Mayer getting Haas Factory Team?
Yep.
Their first win as the newly rebranded, newly funded team. Great win for him.
Great win for him, and I think he did everything he needed to do. He put himself in the right position towards the end of the race, which Sam Mayer has done a lot of times before. I think he's proving that he wasn't just winning at Junior Motorsports because he was in Junior Motorsports equipment.
Yeah, no, I like Sam Mayer. I've thought Sam Mayer was going to be a good driver since he was 15 years old and won in his ARCA debut at Bristol.
I hated there wasn't still room for him at Junior Motorsports because I
like Sam Mayer.
I don't think that Junior had a problem with him. I don't think anything like that. I just think they wanted to make room for Zilich and Quapple. And so two had to go.
Make room for the two of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and
Quapple and Mayer have had very similar performance this year. Now the only difference between them is that Quapple still hasn't won. But Quapple is sitting nicely in the playoff standings.
Yeah, as long as there's not many more outside winners, which I think he's locked in. Is he mathematically locked in at this point?
No, I don't think so yet.
Okay.
So
they're getting close. How about this? Some other news. I just had the alert on my computer screen pop up from Twitter. How about the Daily Downfords being the most reliable source of NASCAR news right now?
Crazy.
This is something I want to talk about, is how accurate the Downfords, the meme account, has become, and actually leaked the Caden Honeycutt story.
Yep.
Before it came out.
Which race fans, if you didn't know,
Bob Pockris said he's probably going to Tricon, and then Downfords was like, no, he's going to drive the 52 car or 52 truck for the rest of the season. And Pockris was like, well, there's no connections there. And then guess which truck he's hopping in the rest of the season?
Well, I saw something that said he was at least hopping in it for Richmond. I don't know about the rest of the season.
They have announced he's filling in the rest of the year.
Oh, he did? Okay. I figured they would as well. Because they've got no one else to drive that. Friesen's out for the rest of the season for sure. I think it's a great. I cannot believe that deal came together so quickly.
I'm kind of curious because they said he's going to a different OEM. It's been rumored that he's connected to Dodge, not confirmed.
Yeah, and I don't know.
With Stuart Friesen's team being a
Toyota.
Obviously, they do have factory support from Toyota, but they're not Tricon. They're not a Toyota team.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to be one of the teams that switches to Dodge.
Maybe, but I don't know.
And
I don't know about Honeycutt doing a Dodge deal because you got to wonder: is Dodge about to come in and some other teams are going to switch manufacturers, or is a new team coming in that has never been in the truck series? Because in that case, I'm questionable if I'm Honeycutt or someone like that I'm trying to prove to people that I need to be in Xfinity or I need to be in Cup. I'm very hesitant on joining a new team because he was doing great at Nice. So I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant to leave a team that I'm running top 10 every week for a new team. So that's why I think possibly it's more of either a team is changing to Dodge or he's just going to a Toyota team like a Tricon or something. Because you don't want to go hop in something that you're just unsure about because Honeycutt needs to be competing for wins at this point.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, Dodge isn't going to get their foot in the door if they just bring in one truck team and then don't develop into an Xfinity team or a Cup team.
Right.
Like, as a manufacturer, they have no reason to say, all right, well, we're going to, slap the Ram logo on a few trucks and not do anything with it.
Right.
Like, your goal joining NASCAR has to eventually be, we have our Cup team that is on the same level as, Penske is with Ford, Gibbs is with Toyota, Hendrick is with Chevy. Somebody's going to have to be Dodge's team.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, but I'm glad that Honeycutt is still getting to run this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this, and you might. Even though he's switching teams, isn't he still eligible for a driver's championship?
Yes, he's going to make every start. He's running for Young's Motorsports this week.
Okay.
Or this upcoming truck race at Watkins Glen. Then he's hopping in and running for Friesen for the rest of the year. So he is still eligible. He's making every start. He gets to keep his playoff points. The 45
Wow.
truck keeps their owners. The 45 truck keeps all of their owners' points, and Caden Honeycutt keeps all his drivers' points.
Wow.
There will just be two separate entities for the rest of the season.
That's crazy.
And that's something that doesn't get talked about much in Trucks and Xfinity is because not all the teams are full-time. The Owners' Championship actually has its own playoff format, which is the same format as the Drivers' Championship. So some of these part-time teams are still going for the Owners' Championship just with a part-time driver.
Yeah.
And so imagine you roll into, let's just say, I'm just going to throw an example out of there. Let's say you show up to Phoenix as Joe Gibbs, and you have the 54 car and Taylor Gray competing for the Drivers' Championship, and Eric Almirola's in the 19 competing for the Owners' Championship. You have a shot to win two championships, one organization with two different drivers and two different teams.
Well, and that
now
almost
Nice is going to have an opportunity to still win the Drivers' Championship if they can put the right pieces at the right place in that 45 truck for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it opens up the door to bring in more drivers that are in Chevy's pipeline to get truck starts. I mean, now there's a seat open on a competitive truck team that they can throw in LeVar Scott for a few truck races if they want to.
Hey,
they
look,
can throw in.
All I'm saying is they just need to contact Timothy Watson and say, "Hey, we have no driver for this weekend. Just drive for us."
That's what
I'll be forever mad that they couldn't get a deal together back in 2022.
Well, they might have a shot, maybe.
Well, I mean, if they come and tell Tim or some driver, "Hey, we've got it covered this time." So, because I was talking about it with my sister the other day because she watched the CARS Tour race with me. And I was explaining to her the dynamic. And it was like, in the past 10 years, it has become more about money has become more of a factor. Money has been provided less by the teams and more by the drivers because there is not as much marketability in stock car racing as there was 10 years ago and further back. And so teams have relied upon drivers bringing money so that they can stay in operation. It makes sense when you think about it from a business standpoint. When we hear about these deals of saying, "Hey, we need, this big figure for you to run the season," you're like, "Well, that's stupid. This driver's definitely good enough." When you think about it from a business standpoint, it does make sense. And it's tough because there are definitely drivers out there like Timothy and others that are not, there are hundreds, thousands that aren't getting opportunities because they just don't have the funding. And so that's where that quick little deal on that of it's not just some people, it happens to a lot of drivers where it's just you don't have the funds. So
yeah, and I think this last two seasons really you've started to see that shift back towards all these drivers, still have to have a lot of money, still bringing a lot of money. But the drivers that are coming in that have money are having to be more competitive than they were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You look at the late 2010s and around 2020 in the ARCA series, it was rough.
Yeah.
And you look at trucks, it was rough. We're looking at the development series right now in one program that I'm going to give some credit to, Rev, with the diversity program. They're giving drivers, obviously with diverse backgrounds, a chance. But a lot of those drivers in the Drive for Diversity or in the diversity program don't have a whole lot of corporate backing.
Yeah.
They're having to make it for them. So there's doors that are starting to get opened. There's teams like JRM putting Carson Quapple, which Carson Quapple's second generation driver. His dad, Travis, was in the Cup Series for years, but he wasn't with a super competitive team. He won a handful of truck races back in the day, but he was never one of, man, this is one of the best drivers. His kids, when they are old enough, are going to be, a lock to have an Xfinity or Cup ride. I mean,
Yeah.
Carson and Caden earned those rides.
Yeah.
That they have. So we're looking at a situation where I think the ship is getting turned in the right direction.
Yeah. No, I'd agree, and I think there's definitely some light at the end of the tunnel in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about the last one. Cup at Iowa. They were all over the board. Strategy was crazy, but the car was just the only time we saw passes for
strategy was the best part of the race.
Only time, which we've seen now 2 weeks in a row, because the strategy at Indy was also really entertaining. But just that's a problem. If the strategy is more entertaining than the racing itself, that's a problem. Strategy is great. I love when strategy is entertaining, but it should not supersede the on-track product. The only time we saw battles for the lead was when the leader caught up with lap traffic, and they couldn't get past lap traffic because lap traffic was only 3/10 slower than them.
And that's what I like. I watched the start of the race. I was like, you know what? This seems like a pretty good race. The leaders are pretty close. And then, Brad was battling for the lead. And I was like, man, they're getting after it. They're side by side. They're going to be able to make a pass happen. And they catch up to Noah Gragson in the lap car. And I'm like, all right, you're going to be able to use him as a pick, get around him. And then it's just a gridlock. And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
When second place can't get around the leader and the leader has clean air, okay, that makes sense. The leader is in the lead for a reason. It should be hard to get the lead from somebody. But when you're battling through lap traffic and the fastest car on the track cannot pass the slowest car on the track, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just so many fundamental issues, and there's so many people that are influential in the sport that are talking about it. And NASCAR has got to do something. They cannot just keep twiddling their thumbs. I know that there are probably other factors that you and I don't know about, but something has got to be changed, because it cannot be that your other 3 series are more entertaining and better race products than your top series. Week after week, we've seen that. It's just, we could go down a rabbit hole with this, but this is just another race that has proven we have a problem. So
yes.
But anyway, Byron goes on to wins for the first time since the Daytona 500. He had been putting together, he had some bad races as of recent in the summer, but he's back to leading the regular season championship in a battle with Elliott. So it's a close battle for the regular season championship here to run to the end. So last bit of news that I have, F1, actually. They just went to Hungary. They're on summer break now, but I don't know what you've seen, Gavin. It has been a fun fight with the title contention for F1 between the two McLaren teammates. Have you gotten to see any of it?
I've been watching. I've been keeping up with it. You know how I feel about F1.
Yep.
I like watching it. I think the practice and qualifying sessions are the most entertaining things of the week, because just seeing who can get the very fastest lap out of the car is the best part of F1 right now. I think they have some similar issues as NASCAR.
Yeah.
Cars are glued to the track.
Yep.
Can't pass.
Yep. Dirty air
I
is
mean,
a huge thing.
yeah, and so I've been keeping up with it. I
Yeah.
really am loving
Well,
the battle for the championship. I think Lando's got some momentum right now, especially after that win.
see, I heard something
I
really.
know, I know you're a Piastri guy.
Yeah. Well, and I
That's
heard
your driver.
something. I heard something interesting the other day on some podcast. And by the way, I think next year is going to be really interesting with the new car, new regulations. But I heard
Well,
something
there's
interesting.
it's going back down in size. They're getting it a little smaller again, aren't they?
Yes. So, and there's a lot of other changes too that might make it better racing. So, but I heard this on some driver's podcast. They were talking about, okay, it's with a summer break now. F1's off for a month, and Lando just won. They're talking about the title fight. Piastri is going to put his head down. He's going to say, "All right, I gotta keep pushing. What do I need to do better? All this stuff." They're thinking I don't remember who it was like, I wonder if Lando is going to go, "Oh yeah, just won. Let's celebrate." And just kind of celebrate and party away during the summer break. I don't know, but my thoughts on the championship fight between them, I think that Oscar has more of a championship mentality. That's
I can
what I
see
think.
that.
So I also think he's more consistent. He makes less mistakes.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's something to keep an eye on. But that's my last thing, Gavin. You got anything else for the viewers?
I'm just ready for the Knoxville Nationals this weekend.
Dude, it's gonna be fun.
I'm so excited for that. One quick news headline we haven't talked about. Do you see who's finally getting to make their ARCA debut?
Yeah, Jade Avedisian.
I'm so excited. I have been. It's funny. I've been saying, this is the year she's going to make her ARCA debut for 3 years now. I remember, I think it was my start of my junior year of college. So, no, it was second semester. So, the start of 2023, I had to do a podcast episode for a class. I was like, I was talking about the top 25 prospects in NASCAR at the time. And I had Jade somewhere in the teens. And I was like, this is going to be the year she makes her ARCA debut. And that was in 2023. And 2024
Wow.
rolls around. And I'm telling people, there's this kid. She's running. She's really good. She's starting to run a few asphalt races. She's been running dirt midgets. She's awesome. Jade Avedisian. She's probably going to make an ARCA start this year at some point. And then 2 years later, she's finally getting to do it.
There we go. I'm excited to see what she can do with it. But
I think it'll be good. I'm glad that it's going to be at a dirt track. The dirt miles are kind of this weird hybrid. I don't know how many of the ARCA races you've watched from Springfield and DeCoin, but they're very interesting to watch because the track gets so rubbered up. It's like instead of running a dirt race because it's so flat, it's almost like you're running an asphalt race in slow motion on tires that are 500 laps old.
ha,
It's
golly.
just such this weird, interesting hybrid of a dirt race and an asphalt race. But I think Jade's going to be able to compete for the win in her debut. I think Butterbean probably is the favorite for it, even if Cruz is the one running the 18, which I don't know if it's going to be him or Max Reeves. Since it's a mile-long track, I don't know if they're treating it as a short track or a speedway. With
Well, both
Max
of them
Reeves
are too young.
Yeah, but it's a dirt track. It's not a speedway.
Oh, good point. Good point.
And they're eligible for road courses. So I don't know if Reeves or Cruz will be in that car. I know it's not going to be Sawalich because they're not going to be at the same track.
Yeah.
Is Xfinity. So I don't know who Gibbs is putting in the 18.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to see what drivers show up that race, who's really competing. But knowing the drivers that I know, Butterbean has dirt experience that we don't really talk about that much.
Yep.
But he knows how to run a dirt car.
It's true.
He has a part-time dirt team that he runs for fun. He's not bad. But to see where Jade stacks up against him is really going to be our first test of, okay, how much of the hype was for real.
Yep.
And this is one of the stories that I've been looking forward to talking about even before it was announced because we all knew it was going to happen eventually.
Yep. Well, we're just going to have to wait and see. End of August.
End of August. The ARCA season to me has been the most fun thing to follow this year.
It's been great.
The racing, it's still ARCA,
I've
but
loved it.
man, it's so fun to follow. Which every driver that I've been hyping up for the last 2 or 3 years is finally getting to run some ARCA races. You know, Tristan McKee's making his ARCA debut this weekend.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's running the Spire car. At
Let's
Watkins
go.
Glen. Tristan McKee's running ARCA races. Trayton Lapswich running ARCA races. Jade's running ARCA races. Kaylee Bryson's running ARCA races. Like every driver that I've been saying, man, I can't wait for him to get an ARCA car. They're finally in them.
Well, there we go. Too bad we weren't around for us to hear these picks and to actually be able to back this up.
No kidding, right?
Well.
Hey, there's evidence of me talking about Jade making an ARCA start. I'll find it for you.
You might have to post it. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up for episode 15.
That's going to wrap us up. If you have any interest in sponsoring us, being a part of this podcast, being a partner, email us at the bmainpodcast2024@gmail.com.
Well, we'll see y'all next time. Until then, Knoxville Nationals. We got a lot of stuff running up. Go watch those Knoxville Nationals. We'll be talking about them real soon. See y'all.
See ya.